collecting information on a daily. We do not wait until the end when we have to report. So on a daily basis, I'll give an example. We have just recently launched a very big and robust solar energy system. This is to help us in our sustainability goals. And the operations department is fully aware that we need to track information regarding usage, how this has affected or how this has transformed our electricity consumption. All this information is tracked on a daily basis, and the systems have been incalculated or revolutionized to actually be able to pick this information as we go by. So at the very end, when we reach the point of reporting, the information is quite easy to put in the integrated report. And as you can tell, from the perspective of the finance manager, I find it quite easy that then if the documentation and analysis and tracking of this data has been done on a daily, once we reach the point of reporting financial information, it becomes quite easy. So in other words, integration or integrated report is rather about integrating the entire institute, all the departments of the institution into one to be able to deliver a good product that gives us a competitive advantage.
The FiRe Awards is an annual event introduced in 2011 to celebrate excellence in corporate reporting in Uganda. So FiRe is a short form for financial reporting, and way back in 1998, the ICPAU adopted the IFRS accounting standards for use and application in Uganda. As these standards became the foundation for reporting in the country, we had to find a way to assess and encourage compliance among the users of the standards. So the FiRe Awards emerged as a practical solution for us to do that. This year, the awards aim to provide a platform for participating entities to showcase the strides they have made in embedding sustainability practices in their operations, but also in their reporting. The awards are organized in partnership with the Capital Markets Authority, the Uganda Securities Exchange, and the New Vision as our media partner. The major goal of the awards is to promote governance, transparency, and accountability. And how do we hope to achieve this? By encouraging organizations to implement international financial reporting standards, but also other best practices in reporting. We have two broad categories of awards. We have awards of excellence in financial reporting, excellence in corporate governance reporting, excellence in sustainability reporting, and excellence in presentation and communication. Then we have another category of special awards, and these ones are given to reflect high overall performance among the participants. And this is where we have the integrated report of the year, and there we will have the gold, silver, and bronze awards. These awards are open to all entities that prepare annual reports in the public sector, not-for-profit, financial services, insurance, consumer and industry, construction, manufacturing, entertainment, education, health, name it. So if you are an organization out there, you prepare an annual report, these awards are open to all of you. And participation is free of charge. We don't charge anything for one to participate in the awards. All we require from the entity is for them to submit an annual report. An annual report is a document that contains the audited financial statements, but also other information that speaks to the entity. So what is it there for the participants, those that participate in the awards? If you're out there and you're looking to raise money on the capital markets or even through the traditional financial institutions, financial reporting is key. So on submission of the annual report, the entities have the opportunity to benchmark their annual reports with up-to-date financial reporting requirements. They get to receive expert feedback from a team of independent evaluators that are put together by the FiRe Awards Committee, but also receive recognition for excellence in reporting.
So the FiRe Awards is an opportunity for us to showcase our commitment to our values. At the Infectious Diseases Institute, we value so much our stakeholders, especially both from the perspective of those we serve and also our funders. And what a good way to demonstrate our commitment to our values than to actually put them to test, and that is through competition in the FiRe Awards. The FiRe Awards has given us an opportunity to compete, but not only to compete, but also to get our systems tested and our integrated report showcased to the entire world. As the Infectious Diseases Institute, we are a business of public public interest. Our funders and both the persons we serve are very interested in what we do. So in our terms of reporting, we don't only look at the financial statements or the financials as you'd call them, but we look at the integrated picture to demonstrate value across the entire institute. You look at, for example, things like sustainability, things like energy saving, and we try to demonstrate that in the integrated report, and both to our funders and also to the persons we serve. How do we collect this information? I think I'll probably give a hint. It's all about having every person on board in terms of the institute. All departments need to be aware the metrics that we are reporting against, the department heads and all the teams collecting information on a daily. We do not wait until the end when we have to report. So on a daily basis, I'll give an example. We have just recently launched a very big and robust solar energy system. This is to help us in our sustainability goals. And the operations department is fully aware that we need to track information regarding usage, how this has affected or how this has transformed our electricity consumption. All this information is tracked on a daily basis, and the systems have been calculated or revolutionized to actually be able to pick this information as we go by. So at the very end, when we reach the point of reporting, the information is quite easy to put in the integrated report. And as you can tell from the perspective of the finance manager, I find it quite easy that then if the documentation and analysis and tracking of this data has been done on a daily, once we reach the point of reporting financial information, it becomes quite easy. So in other words, integration or the integrated report is rather about integrating the entire institute, all the departments of the institution into one to be able to deliver a good product that gives us a competitive advantage. So the FiRe
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would have asked us to have a handshake to greet each other, but the times are not good. We understand what is happening, but we are certain that this too shall pass in Jesus' name. On behalf of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda, I welcome you all to the launch of the 2026 Financial Reporting Awards. My name is Caroline Nasuna, and I'll be taking you through the program of that day. Before going any further, who are we to start without invoking the name of the Lord? And I request Miss Jovia Musoki to come and lead us in prayer.
Good morning, everyone. Let us humble ourselves for a word of prayer. Almighty Father, I would like to thank you for this day. I would like to thank you for enabling us to reach here safely. And we pray that whatever we are going to discuss through this meeting becomes a success. We pray that the entries we are yearning for to receive this year, we shall be able to receive them successfully. And we pray that whoever we are going to talk to, all the discussions that we are going to have, they will be understood. And we pray that as we finish this meeting, we shall still go back safely. We pray for your guidance, and we pray that you enable us to meet whatever we have planned to discuss in this meeting. We have prayed all this in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you very much, Jovia. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me recognize the officials we have here today. To start with, from ICPAU, we have Miss Lydia Tusime, and she's heading the team from ICPAU. We have a big team from the Secretariat here, but our head today is Miss Lydia Tusime. Thank you for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, also in attendance, we have the boss of the FiRe Awards, and that's the chair of the FiRe Awards Committee, CPA Stephen Ineget. We are happy to have you, sir. We have our partners, the people that are behind this thing. They partner with ICPAU to make sure that we have a successful FiRe Awards each year. And we have Miss Lynn Tukey representing CMA, that is Capital Markets Authority. We are so happy to have you. And we also have Mr. Isaac Kayemba in the room. He is representing Uganda Securities Exchange. We are so happy to have you, and thank you for always partnering with us. We also have a media partner, that is New Vision. And with us here today is CPA Margaret Sano, representing New Vision. Thank you so much for coming, and we are glad to have you. Last year, we had FiRe Awards, and we had some winners. So we thought, why not have some of the winners here today to tell us how do they find the FiRe Awards? What are their testimonies? So with us today, we have a representative from Joint Clinical Research Center. This is a past winner from 2025. Ms. Drola, we are so happy to have you. And without any further ado, I don't want to be the speaker of the day. Allow me welcome Ms. Lydia Tusime to give us opening remarks.
Thank you. Okay, you can put it up. Thank you, Caroline, for the introduction. My name once again is Lydia Tusime. I work at the Institute as the Manager Business Development, but today I'm sitting in for the CEO, CPA Derek Nkaja, who was unable to be with us today due to other commitments. My role is to welcome you to this press conference. We are celebrating the 16th FiRe Awards. I really want to thank in a special way the people that have moved this journey with us since 2011, and that is the Capital Markets Authority, who are with us today. I wish to thank the Uganda Securities Exchange and Vision Group, who has been our media partner since 2011. And ladies and gentlemen, this partnership has not, it hasn't wavered over the years. We've seen strength, growth, and we pride in what the financial reporting awards have embodied over the years. And they've reflected strong compliance across all sectors, but also we've seen improvements and excellence within the financial reporting space and even the non-financial reporting space over the years. And I think this is a testament as to why we are now having an edition of 2026. Looking back from 2011, it's really a journey
that we do not take lightly. Today we have the different dynamics. As the chair of the Financial Reporting Awards Committee will give us in detail why we chose the theme. It's really a reflection of the changes in the times that we have seen over the years. We've seen developments around technology, we've seen developments around the ESG sustainability, where we're not focusing on just profits alone. We are now required as accountants to be custodians of sustainability, to see that we support the sustainability agenda from building from our own strength, and that is financial reporting, so that we can also report on the other aspects and see ways how we can support businesses to scale up, but also to enhance their governance structures. So that is a brief welcome remark from me, and I'll have to give back the microphone to the MC. You're most welcome. And the fourth estate in the room, you're most welcome. We don't take you lightly. For the milestones we've recorded over the years, I think you've been a building block together with our partner, Vision Group. We really thank you so much. Over to you, MC.
Thank you so much. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Lydia. We want to be as brief as possible. So without wasting any time, allow me welcome the chair of the FiRe Awards Committee to give us his remarks. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Lydia, who is representing the CEO of ICPAU. I'm now known to you as CPA Stephen Ineget. I also double as the country managing partner of KPMG here in Uganda. Normally when I stand up, I represent FiRe. So when I say FiRe, you repeat FiRe. FiRe, FiRe, 2026, here we come. So I want to welcome all of you, and very, very excited to all the members of the press who are here. You are wonderful, you are so supportive, you have always and consistently passed our message to various stakeholders. So before I make my remarks, I thought I should first of all say thank you for honoring our invitation. Thank you for coming. But most importantly, thank you for relaying our message across the entire country. FiRe means Financial Reporting Awards. And when we started this journey far back in 2011, the focus then was excellence, that we want to promote excellence in financial reporting as well as the entire organization, not just the finance side, the governance. Then later on we added sustainability. Now we are also focusing on management analysis and discussions. How are they telling the story? What are they standing out for? What are the objectives? Why did you set up this company? To achieve what? What about the society where you derive your living? Are you telling that story? So that is what Financial Reporting Awards is all about. As you are aware, as a country, we adopted international financial reporting standards far back, as Lydia mentioned, in 1998. And since then, we have added other frameworks like IPSAS. Now we have also brought IFRS for SMEs. Now IFRS S1, that deals with sustainability, 2, climate. All of these are part of the reporting frameworks which are embedded within the Companies Act, which gives the institute the responsibility of adopting an accounting framework or a reporting framework for a country. So FiRe Awards 6 to check compliance. How have you applied these standards? And many of them keep changing year in, year out. As already mentioned by Lydia, we have journeyed together with the Capital Markets Authority. Thank you, Ms. Tukey, for being with us. Uganda Security Exchange, represented by Isaac here, and Margaret from the New Vision Group as our media partner. So we have been together on this journey, and we continue to support FiRe Awards across. I do this, I'm a chair of the committee, but everything is done by the committee, and I have Noah in the house. Thank you, Noah, and many other committee members. FiRe Awards, what do these reports seek to do? What are we interested in? We are saying we want a report which provides a balanced and reasonable picture of the organization's economic environment, for example, environmental issues where they operate. What about their social performance? Are they telling that story? We also want reports which can provide easy comparability. When you read together with other standards, when you read with the reports from other countries, how do they compare? What kind of benchmarking needs to be done? And generally, the assessment of performance. At the same time, what about stakeholders? One of our big stakeholders in our country is the government through the tax authorities. How have you made those disclosures? So the awards of, the categories of these awards remain the same. We have not made any changes, similar to last year. That there will be an award for excellence in financial reporting. There will be one for corporate governance and how you are reporting that. There will be one for sustainability, and sustainability has been key for the last couple of years. And then, of course, in terms of presentation and communication. How well is your report communicating, especially to ordinary people, people who are not technical in accounting? How is your report communicating to them? So it's very important. We do also acknowledge reports. For example, there will be an award for the most improved report. These are organizations, after the experts have reviewed their reports, we give them feedback, and then they incorporate this feedback as part of their strategy and improve their reports. So we do an award for that. Best listed entity is the other one, and of course the integrated report of the year, which takes the 3 awards, of course, gold, silver, and bronze. Now, who can participate? Like we said, all entities in their different capacities. This year, we are hoping to have quite a number coming from government ministries, agencies, departments of governments, universities, schools, what you call public sector. We really need a majority of them to come on board. Of course, related to that, not-for-profit organizations, NGOs, they do quite a lot in our country and would like that story to come out. Of course, private sector entities, you have financial institutions, banks, insurance, the bureaus or forex bureaus, education institutions, other regulatory bodies, and many others within the umbrella of private sector. How do you participate? And this is very critical. Sometimes when we are doing the awards, entities approach me and say, I missed to submit my report. Others have a number of them, but what constitutes an annual report is what we require you to submit. And that can be submitted both online and physical, which you can deliver to the institute. We will open our doors, our gates, our windows from 1st June to start receiving annual reports. And that will go all the way up to 30th September 2026. So should you wish to send it by online means, then you use this website, www.icpau.co.ug/FiRe awards. Just go to the website of ICPAU and you should be able to pick that link and you submit all your reports. It's very important that we continue to run FiRe awards. Someone told me, now you have done for 15 years, can you do something different? I say, is there an end to something which is good? That's why all of us would want to live as long as possible, because it's good to be alive, isn't it? No one wants to be dead. So this is a flagship aspect of the Institute. It interacts with the community, but as you are aware, Institute is the fountain of accounting in the country. So it is the only way we can assess whether companies continue to follow and to comply with these upcoming standards, let alone the existing ones. But there is a benefit to participating in these FiRe awards. For example, Ms. Tuke works with the Capital Markets Authority. One of the key documents they need, especially for corporates, are audited financial statements. Not just for 1 year, but for the last 3 or 4 years or so. They need your story. They need your vision, mission. What is it that you're doing? So if you participate in FiRe awards, you get the feedback that helps you to enhance your annual report, such that then when you want to raise capital, everybody will look at your report and say, I want to be associated with this company. I'm going to invest in this company. Therefore, the two partners here, Capital Markets Authority and Security Exchange, become very easy for you because your financials meet the global or international standards. So it's very important that we continue to assess the extent to which we are improving in our integrated reporting. Of course, these reports tell your story. So the report in itself helps you to market your organization, the quality of the financial statements. Talk about your products, your strategies, your governance, the achievements that you have recorded in the course of the year. They are all in your report, and people are able to review and then easily be associated with you. Of course, excellence is important. It's good to be recognized. I've always said it's good to tell people at home after you've eaten to say thank you for cooking. It's good to be appreciative. So we who run the accounting in the country as ICPAU, we also want to tell you thank you for following the standards. Thank you for reporting well. So we then host you and recognize all of this good work that you're doing. But we also give you feedback. How do you want to compare with Standard Bank in the UK? HSBC, these are massive giants globally. But Stanbic Bank in Uganda competes with them because we have the very best brains in the country and at a continent level. They produce these reports which can be compared globally. So it's very important that we continue to encourage companies to participate. And transparency, accountability, all these things I keep telling you year in, year out, and we shall not get tired of drumming that there is no end to being transparent. There is no end to being accountable. There is no end to being socially responsible to the communities where you operate or the environment in which you operate, including paying taxes to government. Being a responsible road user is important. So all these are things that we will continue. So I want to thank you for coming. Shortly we'll be launching our theme for 2026. And don't leave before we do that, because that is the the most important piece, and then I will come back to you. Otherwise, for now, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Like he has mentioned, the highlight of the day is the unveiling of the 2026 FiRe Awards theme. Thank you so much for your words. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to hear from our partners. How have they found partnering with ICPAU? Are we stubborn? Are we easy to work with? So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from Miss Lynn 2K. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. A good morning to you all. Good morning. I think we have some breakfast. Yes. My name is Lynn 2K, and I serve as the Manager Communications and Public Relations at the Capital Markets Authority. It's a privilege to be here with you all on behalf of Capital Markets Authority as we launch the 16th edition of the Financial Reporting Awards under the theme Driving Sustainability Reporting Through Technology and Innovation. I've been asked to give what I have thought about partnering in terms of Capital Markets Authority, and I must say we are not tiring. We have been here since inception, and there is no, the Muganda will say, kuzikiza. For many of us in the room, you may be asking yourself, why does Capital Markets have to take part in financial reporting? Before I go there, I would like to just state that the Capital Markets Authority is a statutory body set up by an Act of Parliament in 1996. As a matter of fact, this year we make 30 years. Maybe you could clap for that as well. So the institution is really tasked with the role of overseeing the capital markets industry. We develop and regulate the market. But then you would then wonder, why does financial reporting matter for capital markets? And allow me offer 4 reflections. First, financial reporting is the language of trust, okay? And when you look at capital markets products and how businesses are able to raise capital, it's investors having trust in these businesses, that these businesses will perform, that these businesses are up to the task, that they will disclose with transparency how they are performing so that more and more investments can flow in. Now, without transparency in reporting, it's going to be very hard to build trust. Which is why the Capital Markets Authority saw this as a good platform to partner with the Institute and be able to create awareness on financial reporting and create excellence at the heart of it all. So when you look at capital markets, they do not run on money alone, they run on confidence. And in fact, our tagline as the CMA is protecting your investments. And that's really to instill confidence. When an investor in Kampala or from wherever in the world, in the region, considers placing their savings in a Ugandan business or company, they are not buying a building or a balance sheet. They are buying a promise that this company will grow, that it will expand, and all that is actually in your integrated report, like CPA Stephen Inegate has been saying. So if they are buying a promise, then a promise is that the numbers that they have shown reflect exactly the risks that have been disclosed and the people running the enterprise that will be held responsible. So financial reporting is what turns that promise into something verifiable, and without credible reporting, capital markets are reduced to speculation, and we don't want to speculate in this market. I'm sure you have also heard about the most recent IPOs that we have had in the country. That's the telcos, MTN and Airtel. And you have had the big word of a prospectus. Before coming to market, these telcos have to bring on a prospectus that is basically a story of their life's journey, their work, how they're able to, speak to sustainability. And all this is reflected in that prospectus, which we approve. If we feel all are not facts in there, we don't approve the prospectus. We tell them, please go back and make this right. And so by the time a company comes to market, they actually are verified by the Capital Markets Authority that this is actually a stable a company that you can actually trust and put your money in. We also approve the securities exchanges that we have in our country today. One of them is here, the Principal Stock Exchange, the Uganda Securities Exchange, where the trading happens for these listed companies. And so the other thing that's very close to our heart, which is also very, it comes out very strongly in our theme for this year, driving sustainability reporting through technology and innovation, is that as Uganda, as our country, we have an ambitious target to transform our economy from 50 billion, thereabout, US dollars, to $500 billion. That's $500 billion. And how are we going to do that? It's through the ATMs that the government has spelled out for us: agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, and science and technology. So key to these are science and technology, which is in our theme. And I think we need to give the organizers a round of applause for that, because I didn't hear the applause, ladies and gentlemen. So with that strategy, we envision growing the national economy, and through capital markets as a main engine. We have aligned our strategies to make sure that there is a meaningful role that science and technology plays. I mean, over the past 3 decades alone, CMA has seen growth from a modest beginning 30 years ago, and now the market has supported or has evolved to support capital raising, investment, and long-term wealth creation. We're also happy to see that many of the companies that are participating in these FiRe awards are actually listed entities. A total of 2.3 trillion has been seen in terms of public offers being raised, with our domestic market capitalization growing to 15.9 trillion and 9 locally listed companies. So for us, we are seeing a lot of tremendous growth, and we want to also just commend all the partners like the Uganda Securities Exchange and the Vision Group that have joined in this partnership. The second thing I would like to bring up is that financial reporting reduces the cost of capital. Every shilling of additional uncertainty is a shilling of additional cost. So if you're uncertain, you may want to maybe hold back, which is a cost for our growth for the capital markets. So when companies report transparently in line with the international financial reporting standards, investors then require a smaller premium to compensate for the unknown. And now this means that there's cheaper financing for issuers, better returns for savers, and more projects that get funded. We have better roads and so forth. We also have different products that we are working together with our research and market development team to bring on board. I'm sure you have heard of the sovereign sukuk bond. We shall be having many of those coming. The REITs is something that's the Real Estate Investment Trust, is something that has been on market for long, and we would advise any companies that are out there looking to raise capital to tap into that, as well as infrastructure bonds and so forth. In a market like ours, where mobilizing capital remains one of our greatest challenges, the discipline of high quality reporting is not just bureaucratic, it's a strategy. The third thing, which is the second last thing, is that financial reporting protects the investing public. And again, that sits at the mandate of the Capital Markets Authority. We exist to foster a transparent, accessible, and effective capital market where our investors feel protected. And we're saying financial reporting is a key thing to this. We cannot deliver on that mandate without robust corporate disclosures, annual reports, audited financial statements, and increasingly sustainability disclosures, which are the primary instruments through which retail investors, pension funds, and institutional investors make informed decisions. When the reporting is weak, ordinary Ugandans bear the cost. And when reporting is strong, markets become a place where households can grow their wealth and with confidence. Fourthly, which is the last pillar, and it's also aligned with the year's theme, is that financial reporting is evolving and our markets must evolve with it. Ladies and gentlemen, the investor of 2026 is not the investor of 1998, where IFRIS was first adopted. I think you can agree with me. Today's investors ask not only what did you earn, but also how did you earn it? Now, in the how is where the financial reporting comes in. This is why the theme of these awards is so apt, because technology and innovation are not optionals in this age and era. They are the means through which companies will produce reporting that is timely, comparable, assured, and accessible to a much broader audience of stakeholders. In closing, I wish to say that the Capital Markets Authority is proud to stand alongside ICPAU, the Uganda Securities Exchange, and Vision Group in supporting the FiRe Awards, and that for 16 years, this platform has raised the bar of corporate disclosure in Uganda and helped more than 1,000 organizations improve how they communicate with their stakeholders. To every organization out there that's considering whether to submit your annual report, I'm encouraging you right now to please step forward, and that public scrutiny is not a risk to be feared. It is a discipline that strengthens institutions and builds the trust on which our markets depend. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lynn. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause. Those are our partners. Mr. Kayemba, 16 years down the road, CMS says Teddy Kuzikiza. So USE, we want to hear from you. But before Mr. Kayemba speaks to us, allow me inform you that we have the giants of the 2025 Financial Reporting Awards in the room with us, MTN Uganda, represented by Mr. Andrew Bugembe. Thank you so much for being with us. Let's hear from USE, if they are also not Kuzikiza. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Distinguished members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning. First of all, I would like to thank our partners for a while now, and that have really, we've had the pleasure of being part of them in driving this journey for reporting, but also reporting in the right compliant way. CPA Uganda, the Capital Markets Authority, our regulators, and also to commend them for the role they keep doing in supporting the growth of the markets, of the capital markets. The Uganda Securities Exchange is the principal securities exchange of Uganda. We sit at the center of capital allocation for the country. But what's most important about capital allocation are the stories you tell investors, like Lynn mentioned, and how do you really tell those stories? And that's why you see the word report keeps on coming up. It's a report, it's a story you're telling your investors to have that confidence that the company is going to be around for a long while and is going to continue to create value for its stakeholders. And gradually we've moved on from caring only for shareholders, but considering stakeholders too. And as Stephen mentioned earlier, the government, people, the staff that are in the company, people that are surrounding that business, suppliers and all, are very important for the business, and the business needs to report in the right way for those people. So annual reporting has evolved in a very tremendous way, from reports that you would just need to be signed by auditors, but now you have to continue telling your story and keep telling it even after your report has been released. Markets really are looked at as an indicator of what the public sees is the value of your company, and markets do react to what story you tell, be it private or public. And in Uganda too, I know people like saying that our markets are nascent, but if you actually look at the market for a long while, or in retrospect, you see that many of the stock prices, you see an actual reflection of what the companies are doing. The companies that have large market capitalizations are in fact doing what the investors expect them to do. And you see, and the market actually now has about 3 companies that have over $1 billion in valuation on the market. So it is growing, and as new products come on board, new ways to raise capital come on board, those figures will keep evolving, increasing, but also the ways that we report also have to keep improving. And that's why the Uganda Securities Exchange continues to be part of this endeavor, and we will commit to continue supporting this endeavor. So I think the other bit we will be candid about is reporting comes at a cost. It's not very cheap, and many companies always look at costs. How do we manage these reports or systems we are building to tell people stories? But it has to be encouraged. It has to be encouraged. Why? At the end of the day, that cost you're inputting, or that seed you're inputting, gives you a wide range of areas in which you can raise capital for your business to keep growing it and keep giving back to the community and stakeholders. So what direction are we going in? And really this will be the last remarks, my last remarks. The nature of instruments that are available on the market now to support you raise capital has become more sophisticated. Companies are bundled up, companies are stripped up to find ways in which they can continue to be financed, and there are very many people who want their money to create value or have a return for them. Their money needs to sustain both themselves and their future generations. So the way we tell these people that have their capital available, the way we tell the stories to them, to guarantee them or to give them some form of understanding that this business is going to exist for a long period of time, is by also evolving our reporting, making it not more sophisticated, but more open and more broad to include very many aspects. And I think that is what keeps us coming back here, that disclosure, but also growing our markets and seeing that there are more avenues in which different people can be able to raise capital, both public and private. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kaimba. From what I heard, it looks like they are also here to protect their gains. Thank you so much, and we are still happy to work with you. Now we are going to hear from the winners. What does it feel like? How have you benefited? We want to hear from you, because so many companies out there also want to take that award, the big award, the gold award, like MTN. So at this juncture, let's hear from MTN, the giants of last year's awards. Thank you so much.
Okay, good morning to you all. All our guests here today. So, of course, on behalf of MTN, it's indeed an honor to have received the Gold Award last year, the FiRe Awards. It's a recognition, of what happened behind the scene for MTN. And, as a listed entity, I guess by the time we won these FiRe Awards, it's not like we won it the next day. So it's continuous improvement that the team have to do. For us at MTN, this award is to the business's commitment to what we look at when you talk about integrity, discipline, and accountability, which is part of the way the culture and our business is. Everyone likes a nice stuff, but the investors who put their funds and trust in us rely a lot on this and the compliance to ensure that from a governance perspective, from a disclosure perspective, that all that is within the best standards. So it was indeed an honor. It also reflects that it's not just an issue of compliance, but also, for our shareholders strategically, it's like saying that, yes, it does matter. So we believe at MTN that clear, credible, and consistent reporting does build trust. And today, as you see, if anyone wanted to find out what we do, when you read that report, it tells you a lot of the real story behind the numbers. Anyone can see the numbers and percentages, but until you understand the culture, the story on who we are. So the report does a lot of that. So, it does show the kind of team we have, the excellence we have with our team, the confidence our investors, will allude to. And again, as we move to the integrated and sustainable reporting that is becoming very important, that we owe not just to our shareholders, but to the community and our people in the way we report beyond numbers. And I think this is just going to get more relevant going forward. Some of our investors, once you don't even have focus on sustainability reporting and being intentional, and not just ticking a box, but the scenario for us is that we can only grow if our community grows. So what we say is, at MTN, this didn't happen by chance. Like I mentioned, it didn't happen day one. So obviously, it's continuous improvement, system, processes, capability within the system. When we got listed, I looked back and I said, do I have the right finance team to lead a listed company of this size? And what do we need to do different? So to peers across the industry, I would obviously encourage you to participate. It is worth it to where we are going. And for us at MTN, this is not just a trophy. It's continuous improvement and learning. And these days, seems like also the accountants with their standards are keeping us busy. A lot is changing. Back in the day, it was a bit easy. These days, I think the accountants are leaving us way ahead. And the impact is quite significant. So all I can say is, it was a pleasure. Thank you. And we do encourage other leaders of various industries to please take advantage of this. Thank you once again, and good morning.
Thank you so much, sir. We were glad to hear from you. We have another winner in the room, Joint Clinical Research Center. We want to hear from you too.
Yeah. Thank you. The chair, organizing committee for the FiRe Awards, the organizing committee itself, members, honorable members and guests and ladies and gentlemen present today. I'm Drola Sebagala. I'm the Deputy Executive Director of Finance and Operations at the Joint Clinical Research Center. I'm CPA2. So proud to be here. Who is JCRC first of all? I think JCRC is the non-for-profit organization that was founded 1991. Those are more than 30 years back to and was founded by His Excellency the President of Uganda to find the cure for HIV through a joint partnership or joint venture by the Minister of Health, Minister of Defense, and Makerere University, College of Health Sciences, to find the cure, scientific cure for HIV. So we're still on the journey to find the cure. Coming back to this occasion for the FiRe Awards launch, first of all, I want to congratulate the organizing committee for taking yet another step in championing transparency and good governance in Uganda. We've walked this journey for quite a while. We started this journey in 2024. And when we joined, we did not actually walk to the podium. We just walked out with a certificate at that time for participation. So, receiving a certificate was okay, but what was more important was the valuable feedback that we received from the assessors who looked at our report. We did not take the feedback as a scrutiny, as a bad thing, but we took it in good faith because it was very detailed, very candid, and very constructive, and it actually mirrored our reporting practices and showed us with precision the gaps that were needed to feed. So I want to appreciate the organizers and assessors that took that step to give us feedback. So with that feedback, it was a foundation for something actually far greater. We did not treat feedback, we would not take it as criticism, but we used it to actually as a roadmap to where we ended in 2025. We were recognized as the first runners-up in the non-for-profit category, and from certificate participation to ending up to the podium finish, it was not by chance, but by deliberate, disciplined improvement that anchored in the feedback that we received from the assessors. And so we are very proud to have received that award as the first runners-up in the non-for-profit category. So I would want to encourage those that have participated, like we did in 2024, not to tire up, to take the feedback from the assessors very seriously, because actually they take detail, they give details in terms of where you're erred, what you need to fill up, and just don't take it as just as a statement, but take it as serious feedback and don't tire. As JCRC, we're a non-for-profit organization, so almost 80% of our funding comes from donors. And as you're aware, the environment we are dealing in the donor environment is it's a very, very difficult. The mechanics is very changing. The environment is very changing. And so, as for a donor, we are getting less, and they're asking us to do such much more. So every donor counts, every dollar counts. And they want to see the stewardship in the dollar you receive. They want to see that there is tangible results that you're giving in the dollar. The dollar that you used to do so much in a dollar, you can only now do less. And they expect you to be doing much more with $1. So this recognition in this category as a non-for-profit, it not only came as a trophy, but it came to build trust. It built trust. There was confidence in our numbers. There was credibility in what we do. And I know this is going to fetch us a lot of funds, because from our donors, we're able to actually sustain our finances from a donor environment that actually has shrinked because of the confidence that the donors received from us. So ladies and gentlemen, as we navigate through this most difficult environment, in the donor uncertainty environment, funding environment, we have seen times where several donors are shifting priorities, working with stringent budget cuts. So many of us are doing much more less than before. And so in this season, where it's very difficult and constrained demanding season, excellence in accountability is not an option, but it is just essential. So as people or organizations in this category, I want to encourage you that we need to continue to participate, because it actually lifts us the face of, in the eyes of the donor, and it continues to improve transparency, accountability, but above all, the donor wants to see good governance. And this was one of the reasons where we're able to portray and share governance. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to talk about the things that are not being talked about in this room. The people actually who prepare these reports, because these reports are actually not done by institutions, they're done by people. The skills, the excellence that came and that you receive when you're preparing this report is not any mean achievement. And I want to encourage people in different institutions to take part in this process, because actually it sharpens you as a person who does the work and earns you recognition. So apart from excellence at the corporate level, but there's also excellence at individual level. So we are very proud to have taken part of this process, and I want to assure you that yes, we came in 2024, we came in 2025, we are coming back in 2026, and coming back yet bigger. Compete with Andrew. Thank you. Looking forward.
Thank you, Ms. Drella, for that testimony. And we are also waiting for you to come back bigger and better. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been saving the best for the last. We have a media partner, New Vision. Much as we are in there preparing all this information to go out, we are sure that someone is going to help us take it to the right people, to the right audience. Someone is going to help us call for entries, and that is New Vision, our media partner. Let's hear from CPA Margaret.
Good morning, everyone. I've heard of Okunsembyayo Kabadde Kakodyo, so I actually take it up. Thank you very much. My name is CPA Margaret Sano, representing Vision Group. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished sponsors, members of the media, and all stakeholders present, good morning. Vision Group is a media organization that has perpetually sponsored the FiRe Awards for over 10 years. As you know, we are celebrating 40 years of business. So having spent over 10 years in this sponsorship, that shows our commitment to the financial reporting. And we are delighted to be part of the noble cause as media sponsors. Vision Group believes that businesses strive through effective communication, as this is the backbone of every successful business, for communication promotes efficiency, good relationships, and most importantly, achievement of strategic business goals. Just as you heard from the former winners, this has brought them to become prestigious, winning the awards, and I've heard for our colleague from Joint Research that they're actually expecting more donors to come and support them. So, a good idea still not aired out is worthless. Imagine if we were to be in this room without the media house, and we air out things and we talk about the FiRe Awards without the media team, it would really make no sense. So this gives the backbone for Vision Group as a media house for supporting this year's FiRe Awards under the theme, driving transparent sustainability reporting through technology and innovation. In today's rapidly changing world, financial sustainability reporting is no longer merely a choice, as it was perceived, but rather a fundamental responsibility. We are called upon to embrace technology, including artificial intelligence, a platform for efficiency and timeliness, for sustainable reporting, learning, and professional conversations. As Vision Group, we recognize the critical role for media in amplifying conversations that shape society. The different media platforms of Vision Group that help amplify these conversations are our radios, the televisions, our newspapers that are spread across the country that provide the citizens a platform to actively participate in the matters of governance, providing space for public accountability and constructive dialogue. Our perpetual relationship in the FiRe Awards reflects our continued commitment in supporting initiatives that promote transparency, responsible business practices, environmental stewardship, and social partnership, and social impact. We believe that sustainable reporting is essential for driving informed decisions, We believe that sustainable reporting is essential for driving informed decision making, attracting responsible citizen investments, and building resilient institutions for future generations. Therefore, as we move forward with this partnership, we call upon government institutions, all government institutions, the NGOs, the private sector players to participate in this year's FiRe Awards. And importantly, what is important to note is the FiRe Awards are free of charge. Let no organization be left behind for such a pro bono service. Participating in the FiRe Awards comes along with various importances, and these enhance the quality of financial reporting. This enhances the quality of financial and business reports, which motivates the proper implementation of financial reporting standards. The motivation comes along with good corporate reputation, knowledge, skills, and through shared feedback, as joint clinical research said, and encourages employee motivation and pride. Coming out with an award, as she said, it enhances on the pride of the people behind the figures and the preparation of these financial reports. Vision Group continues to pledge its support in telling stories that matter, highlighting best practices, and encouraging organizations to embrace transparency and innovation as pillars of sustainable growth. So our sponsorship as a media company comes along with a commercial value of over 50 million, which is realized through publicity. It realized through publishing of the winners in the different categories in our prestigious newspaper, the New Vision. And I'm sure MTN and Joint Clinical Research can testify that they appeared in the Vision Group paper after being the winners. Therefore, together as we continue driving sustainability reporting through technology and innovation, let us continue driving transparency, sustainability reporting through technology and innovation for a more sustainable and accountable business future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We have come to the highlight of the day, the unveiling of the 2026 Financial Reporting Awards theme. I'm going to request the people up here to step down briefly, because we are going to use the screen to unveil the theme. But don't go far away. You will be needed for the photo. I now kindly request you to come back to the stage. Humbly request you to come back as we unveil the theme for this year. It is good exercise for us.
So, thank you, our Master of Ceremonies. Now, we just like to display our theme for this year officially as we unveil. Media team, FiRe Awards 2026, Master of Ceremonies. Now, we just like to display our theme for this year officially as we unveil media team. FiRe Awards 2026.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are correcting a sound issue. It's going to play in a second.
be able to produce these integrated reports without technology. So it brings efficiency. So it's an increasingly digital and sustainable conscious world that we are living in. And as a result of that, AI today can be deployed in assisting us come up with these integrated reports. Of course, when used responsibly, when a human in the loop is heavily involved, then you can be able to get better outcomes. As you are aware, FiRe sustainability disclosure standards have now come into effect. The implementation of these new standards is expected to significantly impact the financial preparation and reporting processes of various entities. So again, when you invest in technology, it will be able to help you. So technology and innovation are central to how organizations gather, analyze, and communicate sustainability-related information with accuracy, timeliness, and transparency. This year, as we enter the voluntary adoption phase, starting 1st January 2026, we encourage organizations to start on the journey, leveraging digital tools and innovative practices to aid the reporting of sustainability-related information. FiRe Committee knows and believes that better outcomes, better reports, better comparative information can easily and efficiently be gathered and assembled for the benefit of stakeholders when we deploy technology. So on behalf of the FiRe Committee, I want to thank all of you and invite all companies that 1st June, our doors will be open to receiving your entries, and this will go all the way up to 30th September. Thereafter, your reports will be subjected to a technical evaluation by a team of fine, well, outstanding professionals from Uganda, and some withdraw from out of the country where we need to. They will evaluate your reports, come up with recommendations, and we'll send you this feedback. We will then have a gala evening, gala dinner, where we do recognize this excellence in financial reporting, and that will be somewhere in November. We will keep you updated. Otherwise, I encourage all companies to participate, and we wait for your participation. Thank you on behalf of FiRe Awards Committee. Thank you. Back to you, Mr.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Now that we have a theme, I think we can take a group photo.
Okay.
We can remain where we are. We don't want to cover the theme and the logos. Since the theme has technology in there, we want to show everyone that we have technology. Now, we want to take another photo from here. Hey, down. Okay. In front of the screen. We can have another photo here. Take the steps. Besides the screen. Yes. Thanks to technology, we are transitioning from pull-up banners to digital banners. And in that way, we are also championing sustainability. Thank you so much. As the team prepares the stage, we shall have the officials take their seats. Miss Lydia, the launch is still on. We shall have the team take their seats, and then we shall have an interactive session with the media. The media team has some questions. Yes, Lydia is going. Yes, true. That is true. We are going to start with a summary in Luganda. Yes. Not all of you, but the media will have some questions for you.
Abagenyi baffe abalungi abali wano tutwala omukisa guno okukwebaza mwebale kujja ne tubayita ne mujja ne mubaawo nga tuyanjula omulamwa gwaffe gwe tugenda okutambulirako omwaka guno mu kuvuganya kuno kwe tuba nakwo buli mwaka. Amannya nze Lydia Nankabirwa ndi Certified Public Accountant. Nkola n'ekitongole ekya ICPAU. ICPAU beffe abategeka okuvuganya kuno. Nga tukutegeka buli mwaka. Twatandika mu mwaka gwa 2011 era guno gwe mulundi gwaffe ogwa 16 nga tutambuza ekintu kino FiRe Awards. Nga omukulu akulira akakiiko akateekateeka omukolo guno bwe yababuulidde twatandika ekitongole ekitwala ababazi b'ebitabo mu Uganda ICPAU. Aboogezi abavudde waggulu bazze boogera ku reporting engeri ebitongole gye bibuuliramu abantu the public, abantu abakwasaganya be bakolagana nabo mu kukola bizinesi nga engeri eno So ekitongole kyaffe kirungamya ababazi b'ebitabo mu ngeri y'okutambuzaamu embeera eyo era mu kutumbula omutindo guno ogw'ababazi b'ebitabo. Okuvuganya kuno gwe kwatandikira mu 2011 era nga atwala akakiiko kano bwatuyitiddemu. Tulina betutambula nabo betubadde tutambula nabo okuva mu 2011 nga mulimu Capital Markets Authority, mulimu Uganda Securities Exchange, ne mubaamu ne New Vision, nga New Vision etuyambako okutambuza ekintu kino, okumanyisa abantu bekikwatako okwetaba mu kuvuganya kuno. Then ku nkomerero ne tubawa award zino ababa basinze okusinzira ku nteekateeka nga bwebeera. Tulina emiteeko egy'enjawulo era nga mu kuvuganya kuno tetusaba ssente n'akatono. Kasita obeera nga oteekateeka report eyo gye tuyita annual report, abatunuulira ebitabo bino ebiba bireeteddwa gye basinziirako ne bagitunuulira ne bagyekenneenya, then ne basalawo abawanguzi. So ku mukolo ogwo ogusembayo omukulu gwatubuulidde ogubaayo mu November, omwaka guno gujja kubaayo nga 4 November, ababa bawangudde mu mitendera egyo egy'enjawulo ne baweebwa award zino. Kati okwetaba mu mpaka zino kasita obeera n'ekitabo ekyo, ng'abakulu bwe boogedde, ekitabo mw'onnyonnyolera mu mwaka ogwo by'oba okoze, si amagoba gokka naye n'otubulira ne ku bantu b'okola nabo, engeri ekitongole ekyo gye kiddukanyizibwamu, your governance structures. Ate kati mu mbeera eno gye tulimu ne tunuulira n'ebintu eby'enjawulo okuli mu nkola yo ey'emirimu, abantu abakwetoolodde bo obataddemu otya, abantu abakukolera n'abantu abalala abalina akakwate ku kitongole kyo bo, oba story eyo, emboozi eyo oginyumiza otya mu kitabo kino ky'oba otuleetedde okwekenneenya. Ebitabo ebyo tubitwala buli nga lumu, tugenda kuggulawo nga lumu June, tujja kuggalawo nga 3 September, era omukulu atukubiriza ffenna tuleete ebitabo ebyo. Kiki kyofunamu ng'oleese ekitabo ekyo? Omukulu atugambye nti era ne abawadde obujulizi wano ababadde beetaba mu mpaka zino balaga nti abeekennenya ebitabo ebyo bamaliriza nga babawadde babawa feedback, babawa waliwo enteekateeka ey'okubawa amagezi, engeri y'okwongera okutumbula omutindo gwabwe nga ba-communicatinga n'abantu baabwe abalina akakwate ku bitabo ku business, nga business bwebeera etambula. Era ku mukolo guno tubadde twanjula, abakulu banjudde omulama gwe tugenda okutambulirako nga gwetooloolera ku engeri gye tukozesaamu ebyuma bino bikalemagezi okutumbula omutindo okutuuka eri abantu abo betusavinga, betukola nabo, the different stakeholders abatukolera gavumenti, betuguza ebintu, abatuguza ebintu. So omulamwa gwaffe awo gutambulira, tutambuza tutya, tukozesezza, tweyambisizza tutya ebyuma bino bikalemagezi okutuyamba okwongera okutuusa obubaka buno, biki bye tukola ku bantu abo bekikwatako oba abalina akakwate ku bizinesi zaffe nga bwe tuzitambuza. Neeyanziza MC.
Thank you so much, Lydia, for the Luganda brief. And at this moment, we should be having a media interactive session. Do we have any questions from the media persons? We have a question. Kindly introduce yourself and the media house you work for.
Thank you. My name is Chobe John Meriviani. I work with Radio CBS 89.2. So I have two questions. And the first question goes towards Madam Lydia. But I wanted a response in Uganda. And they are talking about technology. But I wanted to know specifically what aspects of technology are you going to look at when you're assessing the reports from different entities? Because it is general, you're not specific. And as a youth, I'm very passionate to know which aspects are you going to look at. So I don't know where I get the response from, either from Lydia because I want Uganda. Then secondly, there's one from Capital Market Authority. So she was also talking about the issue of the 10-fold growth strategy. And one of the aspects they're looking at is about as well science and technology. So I want to know what is their contribution in that aspect? Or how do they help entities to see that they streamline the issue of science and technology as we look at the issue of US dollar economy of Uganda? I beg to submit.
And let's get a response.
Mwebale nnyo abatuwuliriza, erinnya nze Matovu Nowa. Nsaba okuddamu ekibuzo ky'Oluganda ekikwatagana ku technology oba kakati ebitongole ebikola business oba ebikola amagoba bwe biba bikola amagoba birina ebintu bye bikozesa nga mu kukozesa ebintu ebyo tuyinza okugamba nti mulimu ettaka, mulimu emiti oba obutonde bw'ensi. Kakati mukola amagoba ng'okozesa ebintu ebyo Katonda bye yatutondera kitegeeza obikendeeza nga okulabirwako bw'oba okola entebe okozesa omuti furniture okozesa muti. Kakati twagala kulaba mu technology bw'oba ogenda kukola omuti mwanya bw'oba ogenda kukola entebe omuti ogukozesa otya? Bw'oba osala busazi miti gyonna n'ogimalawo olw'okuba oyagala magoba kitegeeza nti mu bujja eyo mu maaso tujja kuba tetuyinaawo omuti yadde n'ogumu ate nga ffenna tumanyi omugaso gw'omuti ku bulamu bw'omuntu. Kaakati njagala kutwala ekitongole nga MTN. MTN etuwa empuliziganya. Mu mpuliziganya esimba obulongooti. Mu kusimba obulongooti erina engeri gy'etakula ettaka. Yo kyefa amagoba na kutuwa ki empuliziganya. Kati twagala okulaba nti MTN tefukula ttaka lyonna kulimalawo ku nsozi kweteeka kubanga bw'eneefukula ettaka kitegeeza nti enkuba bw'eneetonnya ettaka lijja kulukuta likke wansi n'abalima babe nga tebasobola kulima. Kati twagala kulaba mu kukola amagoba MTN ng'ekola amagoba ng'etuwa empuliziganya ennungi ennyo ffenna gye tufuna gye twetaaga mu bitabo byayo erina okutunnyonnyola ffe abakozesa MTN nti bwe mba nteekayo akalongooti nfuba okulaba nti ettaka terikulukuta. Bwe mba nteekayo generator amafuta genteeka mu generator tegakkirira wansi ate kutawaanya birime by'abantu wentadde akalongooti. Ate mba nteekayo akalongooti kuba kabamu amasannyalaze, it has power, not so? Kabamu amasannyalaze. Amasannyalaze ago ate tegakosa byensanzeewo. Mu luzungu kyekituwa sustainability. So mu bufunze ebyekulabirako byenyinza okukozesa. So abagenda okukebera ebitabo bya MTN, abagenda okukebera ebitabo bya JCRC, abagenda okukebera ebitabo ebyo nga balaba nti banoonyereza okulaba nti bw'okola amagoba ago ensi ogireka nga bw'ogisanze abaddako abaana n'abazzukulu bagisanga nga bwe wagisanga naawe. Kye tugenda okutunuulira nga tukebera ebitabo ebyo. Ebyokulabirako bingi naye tutwale ebyo ndowooza ngezezaako kinnyonnyola. Mwebale nnyo.
Thank you so much, CPN Matovu. We had another question for Miss Lynn.
Thank you so much. I'm going to try and speak in English, then my colleague can translate. It's fine, okay. So you asked about how the Capital Markets Authority is going to finance the tenfold strategy using the theme of our FiRe Awards this year, which is connected to science and technology. So because one of our sectors that are fast growing are in science and technology, and we know technology is the future, we are encouraging fintech firms, and we do this by actually carrying out founder trainings with financial technology founders. So we deal very closely, for example, with the Association for Fintech Service Providers, that's FITSPA. We have also been able to do a lot of sensitization in terms of how can they be able to raise capital. You know, most of these technology companies have brilliant ideas, sustainable ideas, but how do they sustain that through capital? And that's where we come in to provide avenues for capital mobilization for these fintech players, which will in turn bring GDP to the country, taxes, jobs, you name it. The other thing that we look at as the Capital Markets Authority is how do we support innovation in the capital market space for the fintech regulators. We recently launched our regulatory sandbox. This is where we actually allow for testing of new products, and we do not put them under so much scrutiny in terms of regulation. So it's more of a closed-off phase in which we test out your product and we see how it will work out in the real environment. So whichever ideas that you have, if you apply for a regulation in terms of the sandbox, you'll be able to have more streamlined and not so many guidelines in terms of how you can innovate and bring those ideas to life, as well as get capital. Some of the programs that we do for financial technology service providers is the deal flow facility, which we have come up with in partnership with FSDU and the European Union, where we are making sure that these startups, whatever stage they are at, they are able to actually become investor ready. So when the private investors come, the venture capitalists, they are able to actually support them because of how investor ready they are in the preparation that we have done with them. Thank you. Do you still need the Luganda version?
I think we are done with the questions, if I am right. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. I would like, in a special way, to thank the team from the ICPAU Secretariat. Can you kindly stand up for recognition? These people need to know the people who made this happen. Nancy, Joanne, Jackie, Lydia Tusime. Thank you so much, everyone, for making this happen. I remain Caroline Nasuna, and I thank you all for being here. But before we go, we have a refreshment in the corner. I know we are hungry. We have been talking a lot of finance. Thank you so much, and have a blessed day.
So the FiRe Awards is an opportunity for us to showcase our commitment to our values. At the Infectious Diseases Institute, we value so much our stakeholders, especially both from the perspective of those we serve and also our funders. And what a good way to demonstrate our commitment to our values than to actually put them to test, and that is through competition in the FiRe Awards. The FiRe Awards has given us an opportunity to compete, but not only to compete, but also to get our systems tested and our integrated report showcased to the entire world. As the Infectious Diseases Institute, we are a business of public interest. Our funders and both the persons we serve are very interested in what we do. So in our terms of reporting, we don't only financials, as you call them, but we